thought it was good. You know, he dropped Danny, but you know, we're not used to seeing decisions with Gennady, so you never know how the decision's going to go. The judges had it very close. I saw it as a close fight. I thought that Gennady won the fight, but you know, it was close, and I don't think there was any losers in this fight. I think Danny definitely raised, even though he lost the fight, he definitely raised his profile, raised his marketability and his credibility, because these are the two best fighters that have fought each other.
Tom, BoxingVoice.com. One thing I noticed in the fight this evening was Gennady's body language. Usually he's very aggressive physically. You can also kind of see those daggers in his eyes. Tonight he maybe looked a little hesitant. Did you kind of see the same thing?
Again, you know, you can't overlook or underestimate what Danny did in the ring tonight. You know, he's got tremendous hand speed. He's got big punching power. And he's got great footwork, and so you know Gennady can't do some of the things he's used to doing in the past, and the fact that he was able to drop him and be the aggressor for the majority of the fight, you know, you still got to take our hat off to Danny, not only what he did in the ring, but you know, throughout the whole promotion. We have a lot of respect for him and his entire team.
Tom, tomorrow morning when we read the newspapers and we read the reactions, let's say there is an overwhelming sentiment that Jacobs may have won this fight. At some point, would you? I know there's no rematch clause, and I know there may be a fight against BJ Saunders coming up in June, but is a rematch, especially if the sentiment may be more towards Danny, something that you may consider going forward in the future?
Well, I don't think, I mean, just the reaction I've heard, this isn't a controversial decision like the Ward Kovalev fight, or not pointing out that particular fight, but other controversial fights. You know, I think the Chocolatito decision was probably more controversial. I personally thought Chocolatito won the fight, but you got to give Rungvisai a lot of credit for coming here. Chocolatito was definitely the favorite. You know, the guy from Thailand who's not that well known over here came over and really showed a lot of heart. At the same time as the champion, I thought even though Chocolatito got dropped, I thought he came back and won most of the later rounds. But that's what happens when it goes to the scorecards. I think in the main event in the Gennady fight, I don't think it was that controversial. I mean, if you're scoring a lot of the rounds, you know, for Danny, you could always see it either way. But I haven't heard a lot of controversy for that scoring.
For so long, Danny Golovkin has been one of the most feared fighters in boxing. A performance like this, will this open up more opportunities?
Hopefully people think he's human and will actually get in the ring with them. So that's what we, you know, all we can do and all Gennady can do is fight the guys that actually agree to get in the ring with him. Now, maybe they'll think he's not as dangerous as people thought in the past, and then we can make the higher profile fights.
Tom, is this at all first time in a long time you be nervous coming into the later rounds, given that Jacobs
seeing what happened with Chocolatito and that decision, that made me nervous going into the decision for this fight. So, you know, anytime it goes to the judges' scorecards, you never know what's going to come out. You know, I felt with the knockdown, Gennady was ahead with him being the aggressor. But again, you know, Danny's a local guy from New York. We're fighting here in New York. That's one of the things that Gennady's always done. He's willing to fight guys in their backyard, just like he did Kell Brook in the UK. So, but you never know quite what you're going to get when the decision comes out. And again, there's no losers tonight because both guys, the way they fought, such a great and competitive fight. You know, you got to take our hat off to Danny as well.
Tom, do you take anything into Danny skipping the weigh-in today? Do you think he had a substantial size advantage at all, or do you think that's indifferent?
Well, Danny's a physically bigger guy, and I would say, you know, it was you could clearly say he was the heavier guy as well. But you know, look, you gotta, you know, Gennady knew what he was signing up for. He was following the rules with the second day weigh-in with the IBF. We saw what happened with Lemieux when Lemieux chose not to do a second day weigh-in and was able to knock out Curtis Stevens. So certainly, if you look at it from a strategic standpoint, I guess you can look at it as an advantage if you don't place a focus on the titles and just you know, getting an advantage for the fight. But you know, Gennady's sparred with a lot of bigger guys in the camp, so that really shouldn't affect him. But he was. I would say Danny was the heavier guy tonight.
What did Gennady